Good afternoon. My name is Peter Jung. I'm the Chief Product Officer for Pulzze Systems. Today, I want to share with you on how US government and Fortune 500 companies are building IoT solutions without any coding. So everybody's talking about smart homes, smart cities, manufacturing, and agriculture, working together to build some real value. So IoT has a lot of promises. But what's holding us? What's stopping us? Every device around us are getting connected. But the problem is, still is very, very difficult to get one device to work with another. I'm sure we've got engineers here. How many of you have built IoT solution before? Well, today to build an IoT solution, you have to be a programmer. And you need to know how to build custom development, or use a middleware, or use a platform such like IBM WebSphere or Jasper that's been recently sold to Cisco for $1.2 billion. And you need a few $100,000 to use them. Until you and I can easily build IoT solution, IoT will never scale. Well, there's a good news. Let me introduce Pulzze Interactor. Pulzze Interactor is a vendor-agnostic IoT infrastructure. It's much like a router. You just have to connect, configure, and you're done. And what's cool about Pulzze Interactor is that you don't need to know how to code. That essentially means that everybody like us can spend a few hours and build a very complex IoT solution. Now, how are we able to do this? That's because our team has been working on communication technology for a very, very long time. And our founders actually have been part of the team that built the largest router ever made. And while most startups have to worry about traction, every company is actually investing in IoT. That includes US government. Department of Homeland Security is spending a few $100,000 on us to build them IoT security infrastructure. NSF is spending a few $100,000. We're already working with numerous Fortune 500 companies. Even during our private beta, we were actually profitable. And I'd like to share a really happy news for us that a few hours ago, we actually agreed on a POC with Fujitsu. We just had a meeting. So for us, traction has not been a problem. That's because we make money when we create value for the devices to connect with other devices. We make money when the cloud is able to talk with other clouds without employing any additional developers. Now, IoT is big, and IoT is real, and we want to play a small part in making your IoT investment come true. This is Pulzze Interactor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pulzze. Judges.
Can you give us a little bit more color on how actually these clients develop their IoT solution using your platform?
So
and the second question is, what is the real-world example of this decentralized way
Yeah,
of
so while
IoT
taking a
solution?
question, I was just playing a little demo of us. So real-world question is, for example, if you want to build an intelligent building system, either you have to use Samsung only, Fujitsu only, and Panasonic only. For you to get all these different devices to work together, regardless of vendor or protocol, you can't do. You have to build a real application. So what application is, as you can see here, is a simple, just a drag and drop of connecting different vendor applications and devices. And you can actually build an IBS, data collection for big data, SDN. Obviously with the government, we are doing on the security side of the IoT. So what you see in the picture here would normally take a developer many months to make. We are able to solve that problem through a simple tool to make that very, very fast in creating.
Is there any competitor doing similar thing?
Yes, there's competition. As I mentioned, IBM WebSphere, they are selling their product for minimum about $20K. And there's Jasper, They are our competition, and they've been recently sold to Cisco for $1.2 billion. And there's TIPCO, which is another like trillion-dollar company. So they are competition, but since we all come from IBM, Cisco, and those communication background, we believe that we have very different technology that we can beat them. So the biggest difference is there's a technology difference of, for them, they have to build what's called objects to communicate. So it's called connectors. So they have to program connectors to work with Samsung. With us, we've created, since we're from Cisco, we created a very generic way of connecting. So you just have to configure them in with us to get everything working. And we probably are the only ones that can actually embed inside their system.
We got time for one more question.
How many customers do you have already?
So the customers, as I said, we are in a private beta, but we already have the US government, a couple of agencies, and we've got an IBS company that's our customer. And recently, as I said, even today, we've actually signed an agreement with Fujitsu. And most of these companies are under NDA because they are building something for that, for the future, so they don't want their customers to know about it. But I can tell you that there's less than 10, but more than 5 companies, yeah.
All right, thank you, Pulzze.
Thank you.